also great. All right, so we are solving systems of equations that have 3 variables in it. So instead of just doing one set of elimination and finding an answer, you might have to do 2 or 3 sets of elimination to get your answer. So the first thing I do for each of these is number the equations. I do that so that I can keep my work organized and I know where things are coming from. If your work is not organized, then I can't tell where things are coming from. I can't properly grade your test, quiz, whatever it may be, okay? So please keep your work really neat and organized. So in the first example, you have one equation that is actually missing one of the variables. It's missing an x. Okay, if you look at the second equation, there's x, y, and z in each one. So this is a slightly easier version of that question because some of the work is already done for us. If you're missing a variable, then what you want to do is use the other 2 equations to get rid of the variable that is missing. So what variable is missing in this one?
X.
X. So what we want to do is we want to take these 2 equations, 1 and 2, and we want to try to eliminate the variable that's missing. Okay, so which variable are we eliminating? X. We're eliminating x because there is no x here. Okay, so there's no x. Get rid of x.
Wait, is that 3?
Is what 3?
You put
Yeah,
1, 2,
yeah, you put 1, 2,
3.
this should be 3.
Oh, yeah. Alright, in order to eliminate the letter x, you need the coefficients of x to be the same for each equation. One of them needs to be positive, one of them needs to be negative. Right now, there's no coefficient, so both the coefficients are the same. They're both 1, but they're both positive. So one of them needs to be negative.
So you multiply everything by negative 1.
I do the bottom
Yeah.
one.
Yes.
Where'd you get the 2? I shouldn't have minus the 3rd.
Oh yeah, it's this one. Yeah. I just rewrote them on top of each other. So one of them has to be negative, so you can either multiply this one by a -1 or this one by a -1. What do you want to do?
Bottom.
Okay. So I'm just going to rewrite the first equation again, because I like to keep things nice and neat. We're going to take the second equation and multiply it by a -1. Okay? So what you're doing is you're taking everything here and multiplying by a -1. Okay, so that's going to give us -x, positive 2y, positive 3z, and then 0 is not positive or negative, so it's just 0. Okay, so all we did was just multiply that by a negative. And the reason we're doing that is so that the numbers in front of x are the same number but opposite signs.
How do
So
you get the 3z?
it was a -3z, and I multiplied by a -1, and it became
Oh,
a
okay.
+3z.
So what'd
So
you
it'd
do
be,
with the- what'd you do with the second equation? Like, you had it there and then.
This
you
one?
just- Like the second one, you had
This
it there.
one?
and it was- Yeah.
That's this one right here. All I did was multiply through by a -1. So each one of these numbers is -1 multiplied by it. So this was an x, it's now a -x. This was a -2, it's now a +2, -3, +3, and then 0 doesn't change because 0.
And that would just equal y plus 5z equals -7.
Hold on, don't rush.
Sorry.
Alright, so we're going to take these 2 things that we have here, we're going to add them together. Okay, when you add an x to a -x, you get 0, so we've eliminated. -y plus 2y is going to be y. 2z plus 3z is, and then -7 plus 0 is -7. Okay, so I call this a new equation. I call it star. You can call it 4 or something else. I use stars, kind of for a reason. So what I've done is I've created a YZ equation. Okay, and the reason I wanted to create a YZ equation was because the second equation was also a YZ equation. So basically what I've done is created a friend for this guy. So see how they sort of look alike. So those are friends. We are now going to take those 2 and put them together and try to eliminate something. Okay, so right now I'm just writing them next to each other. So that's equation number 2, and this is what we got for star. See how they have the same variables. So they have the same variables. Which letter is easier to eliminate?
Y.
Y is easier. Okay, because they're both plain Y's, whereas this one, we got a Z and 5Z, a little bit harder. Okay, so I need one of these Y's to be negative. Which one do you want?
Top.
Okay, my next one.
Which one?
Top.
Top? Okay, top. So we're gonna change this one to negative Y minus Z equals negative 1. I'm not gonna change the bottom one, we're just gonna leave that one the same. If you wanna just subtract them, just make sure you put a subtraction sign instead of my plus sign, okay? So if you wanna just subtract, that's fine, just make sure you put a minus sign there. Alright, so all I did was we multiplied each one of these by a negative 1. I didn't do anything down here. Okay, I just wrote them on top of each other because it's easier to do the math that way. Okay, now we're gonna add everything. Negative Y plus Y is nothing. Negative Z plus 5Z is 4Z. And negative 1 plus negative 7. Okay, and so what's Z?
Z.
Negative
So we have one of our variables. Okay, we're missing X and Y.
Well, can you just
So we just
plug that
plug
one
it
back
in
to the
for,
easy one?
C.
Yeah, to your Y.
So where do I want to plug it in? Because there's all
the
kinds of
second
stuff.
equation.
Two.
two.
Okay, 2. Why not like 1?
Because
Because
That's
it's
too
Z's
much
are-
to deal
It's
with.
easier.
Oh, okay.
It's just X and Y, or Z and Y.
Right. So you can take this and put it back into this one, but then you're not going to get another number.
And
So you don't want to do that. So you want to take it, you want to plug it into either 2, or you could plug it into star. Okay, so either star or 2, but not 1 or 3. I think 2 is easier. Okay, so 2 is Y plus Z equals 1, and Y is equal to 3. Now once you have 2 of the variables, then you plug it back into one of the equations that has all 3 in there. So in this case, either 1 or 3. So it's up to you what you want to do. I'm gonna pick,
Three.
Sure.
Negative 7.
I'll pick 3. So 3 is X minus 2Y minus 3Z equals 0. So we got X minus 6, this is gonna be a plus 6, equals 0. What's negative 6 plus 6?
0.
0, so you just get X equals 0. Voila. Way that we started 1, because we're not missing a variable. So you have to determine like which variable you want to eliminate first.
So it's the
Basically,
same thing that you choose, right?
so you choose. And also here we like eliminated something and we got star. We're gonna have to do this process twice. So you're gonna have to eliminate twice and then again to get an answer.
Okay.
So basically in this one we did 1, 2 sets of elimination before we got an answer. For this one we're gonna have to do 3. Okay. So yeah, I heard X. X is probably the easiest one to eliminate in this case. So let's start with X. But actually no, I don't think X is the easiest one.
It's gonna be
Y.
Y.
I actually think
Y
Y
is
is
easiest.
easier.
Yeah, 'cause if you do the first two, the
Yeah.
Y is already a negative positive.
Right. So, but it's up to you. If you want to eliminate X, you can. If you want to eliminate Z, you can. It doesn't matter. If you want to like think less about every question, then you can just pick one and like go with it. Okay. Y, because all of these are 1s and they're a nice combo of positives and negatives, would be the easiest one. So let's just take 2. We'll take these 2 first. So all I'm doing is rewriting these. So I have equation number 1 and I have equation number 2. Okay. I'm gonna eliminate Y. I don't have to do anything to eliminate Y. Do I have to multiply? No. Okay, all I have is a negative Y and a Y, so I can just go straight to adding these 2 together to get Y eliminated. I don't have to do anything else. So what's X plus X?
2X.
These are gonna be nothing. Z plus 3Z.
4Z.
Okay, and then negative 1 plus negative 3. Good. And we're gonna call this
So
star.
Wait, so you couldn't minus them?
If you subtract them, you'll wind up eliminating X instead of Y.
Negative Y
so like when they're all have like X, Y, and Z, does it matter which one you choose to eliminate?
No. What you wanna do though, so we took 1 and 2, we eliminated Y, right?
Yeah.
Hold on. Okay, we're gonna do it again. When we do it again, we have to eliminate Y again. If you pick a different letter to eliminate this time, you're wasting your time basically. You're creating an equation that isn't friends with this one, and then you can't really do anything with those. So we're gonna do this again, but you have to make sure you're eliminating Y again,
Alright.
just with different equations. So we can't use 1 and 2 again. What do you wanna use?
2 and 3.
2 and 3 is a good choice. So x plus y plus 3z equals -3, and then 3 is 2x minus y plus 2z equals 0. Be careful when you're doing this, make sure you're writing down things correctly. You know, sometimes you write like a 2 instead of a 3, like I did earlier. Sometimes you forget a negative sign. Just be careful when you're writing, because if you miss like one little thing, the whole thing is gonna be messed up and wrong. You're gonna get really frustrated because there's gonna be a bunch of fractions, and you're gonna hate it. So be careful. Alright. Do we have to do anything in order to eliminate y? No. So we just need to add these together. So x plus 2x is what? Yep. These go away. 3z and 2z. Good. And then -3 and 0. And I'm going to call this double star. There's a reason I call one double star and one star. And that's because they're friends. So if I make them look like they're friends, I'll remember that they're friends. Okay? So one is star, one is double star. Do you see how both of them have an x and a z in there? Okay, that's like good. That's the purpose of doing elimination twice, so that you're creating two equations that have the same variables in them now. Yeah.
Could you like eliminate both of those? So put them.
So we need to pick a letter now to eliminate from the blue and the red. So what do you wanna?
Let's do
What do you wanna eliminate? X?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Alright, in order to eliminate x, so
Yeah,
let's
do
just
that.
like underline,
6.
okay, we need to eliminate x. How do I eliminate x? Multiply by?
Common least common denominator. So
Good,
3 and
good,
2.
so 3 and 2, or you could even do like 3 and -2 would be better. Okay, so we're gonna take star and multiply by 3. So 3 times 2x is 6x, 3 times 4z is 12z, and 3 times -4 is -12. Okay,
Wait, hold up. What did you do on that part?
Just multiply them.
multiply this one by 3. So
How
3
do you know
times
multiply
2,
by
why are we multiplying by 3? We want to eliminate, I don't know, someone wanted to eliminate x's. So in order to eliminate x's, we need to make them the same number.
So if it was z's, you'd multiply by 5.
So for z's, you would do 5 and 4. Here we're doing 3 and 2. Basically just multiplying by
Whatever
the
side.
other guy.
Okay.
Yeah, so this one we multiplied by 3, and then this one we're going to multiply by -2, so that it's they're opposite signs. So -2 times 3, and then we got -2 times 5, and then -2 times -3, +6. So now you can see by doing that we've created a 6x and a -6x, which is good. They're the same number. They have opposite signs, which means if we add them together, we can eliminate x. So add. What are we
equals
left
3.
with?
Oh, 5.
Yeah.
Negative
2z
2.
and then 2 is 6.
So Z
Okay, and so
equals-
z is
-3.
good. So z is -3.
And then I have to find the rest, right?
And now you have to find the rest. So,
So,
but like the rest is easy. So once you find one, you're just gonna go like backwards,
You
the
want
way
to
you
plug it
came.
into the-
Plug it into this one, or you can plug it into this one.
Okay.
So what do you wanna plug it into? Blue or red?
Red.
Red.
Okay, red it is. So we got 3x plus 5z equals -3. So three x minus 15 equals negative 3. If you add 15, you get 3x equals 12, so x is 4. Then, okay, so you took it, you plugged it in here, now you're gonna take both and plug them in up here, something up there at the original place, like 1. So we got,
4 minus y plus.
we actually know x. 4 minus y, we don't know y, plus z equals negative 1. I can combine the 4 and the negative 3, that's 1. And then I can subtract the 1, so I get negative y equals negative 2. And that means that y has to be 2.